Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and fix several years of financial misbehaviour, and if that is something you're interested in following along with, please do stick around and check out the other videos that I've created. It means an awful lot that you are here with me today. Now, no, I don't have a cold. Hay fever season is in full swing, and despite being medicated up to the gills, I am nasally and breathless and streaming. So what better time to film a video? And I'm just going to be like this now until September. Wonderful. I said on my latest Savings Challenge Sunday video that I was going to be refining my big destash selling list, and as an unofficial part 2 to my destashing to make money video, which should be in a little card pop up here if I can get the edit to work, then this is this. I've realised that because I have full-time availability essentially to do this, and because I need a very, very, very detailed, very broken down to-do list to keep me on track, and I need the little bit of dopamine that I get when I cross something off a list, that I needed to refine this and take my own advice on board and look at actually what I can sell quickly and then what maybe needs a little bit more work. So I thought I would take you through as just an unofficial part 2 for those that are interested in the refined destash selling list. So here's what I have got to do. Now, I have broken up the clothing into brands that I have quantities of so that I can literally sit here and go, on today's to-do list I'm going to do brand 2 and some shoes and Lacoste 1, for example, and then that way I can just really easily refer to this. So brand 1 is, I may have some existing photos already of this brand, so it's worth me going back through my folders, my pictures, re-downloading them onto my phone and then just uploading that way. That saves a little bit of time, and then some of them might need ironing. But what I do have, and I'm going to see if I've got them, is I have got some of these white mailing, I guess, storage bags. Once I have photographed these items, just to make space a little bit more, is I will actually label those bags and just fold and store them in there, and then they can just be packaged up quite easily. The storage situation is coming into play. I've spent a bit more time in my garage, and I have got more things that I need to sort out in there in terms of what I can sell, specifically with regards to fabric and very costume specific heavy things, which is a weird way of saying I have lots more weird stuff in the garage basically. And my storage inside the house I am trying to get on top of, definitely so. So the little office room that I film in has essentially a walk-in wardrobe, and I think that's in place to try and justify the fact that this room is large enough for a toddler and a child but nothing much else. So let's just take up more space and put in a walk-in wardrobe, why not? But that runs the entire width of the room, and it has a door and a very long shelf going across and a rail as well. Now, I'm currently storing a single mattress in there, which seems to be the safest place to store that as just a temporary thing without it going rotten or mouldy or getting eaten by small creatures in the garage. But I do need to kind of get on top of that storage space and get that organised. So if I can deal with brand 1 and brand 2, which I know I can sell relatively quickly, that will help give me some space back. I do then have a smattering of other brands as well, no more than say 1 or 2 items each, and that will also come into play. Now, in terms of the Lacoste, there's 2 things going on. I have got existing uploads that I did really, really quickly. They weren't pressed or ironed very well, and they've not had a lot of attention. And I would say that they've been uploaded now for about 3 weeks. So the earliest listings, what I'm going to do is remove them, refine the pricing, rephotograph them and iron them if needed, and then re-upload the listings. And then all the photos are going to be hung to store. What I also then have is what I would say grade B stock. So these are things where on the seam there's the tiniest little hole where the seam has stretched slightly, but that could be enough to either deter a buyer or mean that actually the item, although it's completely fine everywhere else, may just needs to be priced a little bit smaller, a little bit less, I would say. So they either need to be sorted out in terms of checking. They need to be rechecked again, and then ironed, steamed, hung, whatever, and then photographed, and then those listings uploaded. But because I have a large volume of these, they take an awful lot of time, and I need that variety. I need that little bit of something different, which is why I'm going with brand 1 and brand 2 first. And then lacrosse 3 is things that need the grading and the quality checking, and then if they're not good, they need to be put to one side for either the car boot, where it will probably just be grade C stock, minor marks and stains, etc., one price only, or if I am going to keep them and sell them for a bit more than what I would at a car boot sale, but less than what they're probably worth because of the quality of them, they either need to be ironed, kept, and then etc., draft description, upload them, etc. And then I'm going to focus on shoes, because I didn't follow my own advice in that video, and I actually was able to jump to the jewellery that I had inside the house very quickly, and some books and some DVDs. The books I could probably go through and refine again, but those are my real academic ones and would need like a full going through. I need to see if I'm emotionally attached enough to this book to want to keep it. And with regards to the academic reference, costume books, fashion ones, social historical ones, for example, if that item is a high value item that's going to be quite difficult for me to replace if I wanted to in the future because of the cost, and I've learnt this the hard way, it might just be worth me hanging on to for the time being. I do have a gingerbread coffee with me today. I have some of the syrup myself. And so with shoes, there's two things going on. There's shoes that are ready to go. They don't need any cleaning or maintenance, so they can just be photographed, uploaded, and then probably stored in a box. Elastic bound them together so they don't go walking. No. Oh God, I'm awful. No more puns. No more puns, Nicole. So that the pairs don't go missing and separate. But then equally, I have shoes that need a little bit more work, so they either need to be cleaned or maintained, and then they can be photographed, uploaded, and stored. So it's about, specifically for this month, to get that headway going, because I do still have bills coming out that I need to pay this month, and a lot going on. That let's just try and get the fast acting revenue in. Which is why I have gone for fabric fat quarters next. And that is because these are really easy to bundle. Some of them need measuring out, but if they're not cut, they do tend to just be the standard thing. Some of them might need details if it's a mix of, for example, Cotton Craft Co. or Rose and Hubble, etc., and things like that. But then that can be uploaded. I can clear package them again in those bags, and then they can be stored in drawers, because I do have a couple of drawers of plastic storage in there. And then I have, again, I know at some point I got these because they were useful and used for something, but I have a large amount of basically upholstery, tapestry style fabric offcuts. Not small ones either. We're probably talking like 1/2 metre by 1/2 metre. All very interesting, and all could probably be used for something. And to be fair, I could probably use them for something, which is why they're a little bit further down the list. But I equally might just take 5 or 6, measure them out, pin the measurements to the item so that I can photograph those measurements and it's easy for me to remember, and upload the listing. And I might do 5 or 6 and see how they go. If they sell, I will just sell them. If I get no luck with them whatsoever, I may look and see if there's something that I can craft, either tote bags or something like that, that might require a little bit more time on my part, but could then maybe up and sell. And the same very much applies to offcuts. I have 2 places where fabric is stored. I have fabric that's stored in the garage, as you've seen, but then I also have some fabric that was stored in my conservatory, and those offcuts can be gone through and again measure them out, pin the measurements to them, photograph, upload the listing, fold and drawer store. Sewing patterns, I don't know if sewing patterns can be sold on Vinted, which at the minute is my preferred platform. I find that their payment system is very transparent, and it certainly does work for me. I know other people prefer other platforms. You take your pick. But I don't know if you can sell sewing patterns. If you can, I will photograph the singles and upload the listings. I only sell pattern cut sewing patterns that are intact and have not been cut. There may be some damage to the outside where things have been stored over time, or the wallet or the sleeve has gotten a little bit scuffed because of drawer storage, but overall actually the pattern itself is intact and everything is detailed there. Bolts of fabric are fabrics of multiple meters, and that's what I regard as bolts, and quite often they're on flat boards or rolls. These will need their entire condition checking, so they will need to be unrolled completely, measured out, checked for any marks or nicks or any flaws in the fabric roll itself. measurements recorded, photographed, uploaded the listings, and then they can be stored on the big shelf at the top that I have got in that walk-in wardrobe. But I need to tidy up that walk-in wardrobe before I can actually do that, which is why if I can make space by clearing the stuff on the other side of this page, this is excellent. This is all a lot more niche, so it may be that actually the bolts and the patterns and the offcuts I can sell on those Facebook specific selling groups as and when there is a market for them. I have done a test run on the sewing patterns and have had no luck on them so far. I do also have miscellaneous costume things like men's white tights, new in pack, lots of masquerade masks, steampunk style accessories, just very generic costume accessory things that can either be bundled up or sold separately. They will need a detailed description as well, and then photographed uploaded listings, and then they can all probably just go in a cardboard box, and then they can be stored probably at the bottom of that walk-in space. And then finally, random accessories, scarves, gloves, etc. like that can all be pulled out, and as we've said, photograph, detailed description, upload listing, draw store, etc. But those are smaller items. They are a little bit more hit and miss in terms of what they might sell for, so it's about going with the things that I know I can sell quite quickly, brand 1, 2 things here, and then moving on to the slower moving items that are more space intensive but then also may take a little bit more time to sell. But I also have other things to consider. So I have more jewellery in the garage, which I have discovered. And I have also got more boxes of offcuts, bolts of fabrics that I can probably re-go through over again. I've got stuff for Marketplace that's sitting there. Some of them may be able to be sold on Vinted or online, I'm not sure. My hiking gear needs checking, both for the kit that I need to take away over the next 2 weeks in terms of do I need to replace anything for me, but then equally can I sell anything online. This is the kind of perfect time of year. Lots of people are going hiking, expedition season is starting, and people will try and look for things that are secondhand because it can run to quite expensive if you don't know what you're looking for. And then I also have to double check the car boot stash as well. So there's a lot going on with regards to the destashing and maximising where I've got to so far. What I will do is, when I do my savings challenge Sunday going forward, so from this coming Sunday, I will actually kind of do a little bit of an income check-in with you, or I might do that as a separate video or a short. It depends how long it runs to. At the minute, I've only had income coming in from Lacoste polos, and that's just been whatever has been listed. I would say that I realistically only spent maybe 3 full days last week, and that was an hour grabbed here or there because last week was very admin heavy. So it's not been as fast a start as I would have wanted for the first week of the month, but other things took priority, so I'm not going to beat myself up about that. But actually what I have done this week is I've gone through and I've been really intentional. I have given myself days off. I know when I'm posting things. I know the best way that I can maximise the space that I do have, that I need to find as well, because there is no point me trying to list and store when actually the space that I'm trying to store is not at its best capacity. It's a little bit messy, it's dark because there's no lighting in there because, why put an internal wall in and block it off? And anyway, just decisions that people make. And then equally as well, I want to get that money going in. I will thrive on those wins of selling an item quickly and just going through and really refining it. I have got 3 very large double bags for life that have the zippers full of Lacoste 2 and 3, and actually I feel like some of them could probably move up into Lacoste 1 or actually be good to go. It's just me being very specific. What I probably need to do is just test 5 or 6 items that are maybe of a lower grade and see how they do, because even if they only go for say £4 or £5, that's £4 or £5 that I wouldn't have gotten elsewhere. So that's where we are up to. I've got a very busy week ahead of me, so you are seeing me at the start of this week. This one is going out for you today on the Tuesday. I had a lovely bank holiday weekend, both the Sunday and the Monday I spent with family, and I chilled out and did nothing. I absolutely terrified myself because I spent all of yesterday watching So. This might not be for everyone, so I get it. Did anyone ever used to watch Most Haunted back in the day? Oh my goodness, I adored programs like that, and there's now a new generation of, I would say, paranormal ghost hunting channels that are going on that have all spawned out of Most Haunted. And I spent all of yesterday watching a channel called Amy's Crypt, and terrified myself but couldn't stop watching, and I had like 4.5 hours sleep, and the cat kept coming to check on me, and I was waking up like going, there's something in the room. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I don't really do horrors, but things like that, I just kind of, it's like crack. Not that I've done drugs, but it's like that level of like, you know, I need to watch this. I need to find out. I need to see it through to the end. So if anyone's interested in stuff like that, or if anyone had a quick walk down memory lane watching and staying up late to watch the Most Haunted live sessions and the American specials and things like that, let me know down in the comments below. In fact, use the little ghost emoji so that I know that I'm not the only one out there if anyone ever used to watch Most Haunted. We're talking like back in the like early 2000s. But I would say that the best seasons are the ones when David Wells came in, and I think that is season 7, 8 and 9. So 2007 to 2009, and I actually have those box sets. I tracked them down on eBay. Talking of eBay, bringing it back round to this, I have a new eBay account. My others had been dormant for so long that I'd locked myself out. I'd changed mobile numbers in that time, and I just thought, right, let's just, you know, bye selling history, bye seller rating. So what I might need to do just to try and get a rating, because at the minute I have 0% and no feedback, what I might try and what I might have to do if I want to sell down the eBay route is actually do a couple of transactions as a buyer, not hugely expensive, but just so that actually I can get the seller to basically leave me hopefully 5-star feedback and get that going and in place, because I've got a couple of books listed on there and they're getting no views, no traffic whatsoever. And I think that's because, to be honest, I'm a new seller with a new account. Well, I'm an older seller with a new account, and I've got no feedback whatsoever. So that itself is going to have an impact and something to bear in mind as well. If I do that, I'll just use a little bit of my spending money and just find whatever is cheapest, I guess, or something that I need or could use. But on that note, I think that is all the business wrapped up today. So please don't be intimidated by the refined D-stash selling list. This is very much formulated around my brain, but it might be of use to some people. And equally, please don't feel bad if you have just like had to send your stuff to a charity shop. The space itself is going to be worth an awful lot to you, and getting that clutter out is fine. But naturally, you know, I'm money minded, so if I can make a little bit of money, I shall. But I do understand that not everyone has the circumstance that allows them to maybe dive into this full time, as I currently do. So on that note, I will see you in the next video, which I'm hoping is going to come out on Thursday of this week, as kind of looking at a rough Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday schedule. But as all of my other schedules have not materialised, don't hold me to that until there's like at least a month of that happening. And I will see you then for whatever that video is going to be. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'm going to love you and leave you and see you next time. Bye bye.